Hey, what's up, VC? It's me, yours truly, VC Cheer. Seems like a long time since I made a video, but just wanted to come back and do kind of a quick recent finds and a little VCLT thanks, and then also I guess kind of some VCLT trades. And one is actually pretty huge, probably the biggest trade I've ever done in terms of music or music stuff with anyone in the VC. So wanted to kind of share that as well. But I'm really excited about kind of the trade that we worked out, which is really cool. Had to give up some good stuff, but anyway, we'll get to that. But anyway, playing in the background, it's this right here, which is Shinedown Us and Them. I was so excited when I saw they released this on vinyl. So, excuse me. So anyway, not a lot of stuff to show, but again, some really great stuff, and one big thing I'm really excited about. But let me start off with recent finds. Let me do that first, and then I'll do the VCLT. Let's see. A few CDs here. Again, you guys know I've been really getting into the classical thing lately. This is one that I really enjoyed a lot, Telamon. And again, as I always say, forgive me for mispronunciations of any of these composers and so forth. I'm still not very up on how to pronounce all their names. But that was one I really liked a lot. And then the Venetian Oboe Concertos. That was also one that I really ended up liking a lot. There was a lot of good stuff on there too. So just two little finds that adding on to my classical collection. And again, it's just I'm really loving that. So I'm starting to get into that just a lot. Another good find here. Sundra. This is another band that I've just discovered that I'm really starting to dig a lot. A lot of that stuff that I used to refer to as noise and clanking and cluttering, like all of a sudden it's starting to make sense, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. And Sundra is one of those bands that, like I said, I just kind of recently discovered and really digging it. So this is the first piece I ever got by them, and this is Strange Strings. Really kind of definitely the title really sums it up, Strange Strings. The best way to describe this is imagine like a group of guys, like classical musicians, for example, like warming up, just kind of everyone doing their thing, getting warmed up, but then like recording that and calling that the record or whatever. That's kind of basically what it sounds like. It's just, a group of classical musicians warming up together. So when it says Strange Strings, that's exactly what it is, but very cool stuff. Like I said, I'm really starting to dig this band right here. And that's really kind of the only new finds. I picked up a few other classical LPs from Goodwill and stuff like that, but nothing to really kind of show or anything of that nature. But kind of continuing on going to the VCLT, one really nice thing that Maggie, so all you guys know her by now, she picked up some really cool things for me over the past week, because number one, she knew that these were two things that I was really looking for, and she just, being the sweetheart she is, just like grabbed them for me, and I was like really excited. And one of which is more Sundra, which was awesome. So she picked up this copy of Sundra, The Magic City, which is really cool. And again, it's just more of that weird stuff. This is actually a little more strange than the Strange Strings album, but it was really cool. And I texted her after I listened to it, and I said, this stuff is so weird. I bet Pink Floyd is going, like, what the heck were those guys smoking? Because, this stuff is just kind of out there, but really awesome album. So again, you're probably going to be seeing me with a lot more Sundra coming in my collection. She also got this for me, which is a CD I've been really wanting for quite some time and just never got a chance to pick it up. But Eric Church, Chief, one of my more recent favorite country CDs. Really, really good stuff. I mean, especially the song Springsteen. That's just, gosh, I love that song. I drove to Chicago about a week or so ago, and I bet I listened to that song, without exaggerating, 8 or 9 times in a row. It's just, I love it to death. So that's a very, very awesome addition to my CD and country collection, Mr. Eric Church. So that's good stuff. And then she also picked up a couple of cassettes that she found, Strauss and then a Miss Saigon soundtrack. So I don't have any classical on cassette, so those are kind of my first two there, which is really cool. And then last but not least, this is one we kind of worked out a trade for. I'd given her some other stuff, and she had traded me Beach House, Bloom. Again, just another album I'd wanted for some time, and I had a couple things she wanted, and so I hooked her up, and she definitely hooked me up too. So really, really good album there. So it's really cool. It's one of the great things about kind of knowing Maggie, and I'm sure those of you who are getting to know her kind of knows she's an extremely giving person. So she's never one that you have to worry about is ever taking advantage of you. So I don't know, just like whenever I'm out shopping for records and stuff like that, it's just so easy for me to think about, just grabbing stuff for her, because you always know it's like, God, I know she's always thinking about me, so I need to, so yeah, again, it's good to have people like that in your life that you can just kind of really trust and know they don't have ulterior motives, just, good person. So again, thanks a ton, Maggie. Awesome stuff. I hope you enjoyed. Matter of fact, I know you enjoyed the stuff I gave you, because I saw you lose your mind 80 times over it. But anyway, and so then the ultimate kind of, I call it like VCLT trade, is I have another friend who is, really kind of has always been really into music, but it's another one I'm converting over to the vinyl and stuff like that. And they, have great equipment and all of that, just didn't do the vinyl thing. So they had this receiver that I really wanted, and we decided to kind of, make out this deal or whatever. So what I did was, in trade for this receiver, I hooked them up with one of my very good turntables, very nice set of speakers, some albums, some future draft picks, and just like, okay, I mean, it was a pretty big trade that we worked out. And I was kind of sad to get rid of some of the stuff that I got rid of, because I love pretty much everything I get in terms, especially even when it comes to equipment. But at the same time, for what I was really wanting to get, I thought, I can suck it up, do the trade. It's definitely a fair trade, so it's worth it. And that's what we did. So what I ended up trading, those records, like I said, future draft picks. There's a couple of records I said I would pick up for them in the future. So that's why I keep saying future draft picks. Speakers and one of my turntables and a few other things was for, I'll just kind of show you here, this nice beauty right here, which is something I've been wanting for quite some time, and it is a darn near mint condition, recently serviced Marantz 2270. This was kind of one of my ideal receivers. I wanted a 2270 or a 2275, and I've been wanting it for quite some time, but just couldn't pony off the cash to do it. And so she had like a couple of receivers actually, and so we kind of worked out that trade, and I was really, really happy to get my hands on that. So definitely the biggest kind of VCLT trade I've ever done in terms of what I got and then also what I gave away. So really, really cool stuff there, which is awesome. So I was very, very happy about that. As you can see, I have kind of made a few. I don't think I've actually did an update of some of the changes that I made in terms of my setup here. Number one, I finally got some speaker stands for my Martin Logans, which have kind of raised them up a little bit, which is nice because they're at a much better height. And anyone who's had those electrostatic speakers before, you kind of know, as I mentioned in a previous video, they fire very, very straight on. So, you know, unless you get them kind of at the right height and right angles, you don't really get the full effect of them. So, you know, getting them raised up a few inches really made a big difference in the sweet spot where my couch is. And I've been kind of going through, as you can see, with the little tape there on the bottom, just kind of moving them around from time to time, experimenting with where the sweet spot is. And so far, where that little black square is, that's been the best spot so far. So I'm just kind of marking them as I go along. But also got the stands, as you can see there. So I got my turntable up a little bit higher, which is kind of nice too, because it's you know, I'm 6'5", and I noticed that's like, God, it's so much easier dealing with flipping and changing records now with it being a bit higher up. I mean, you wouldn't think that would be really of any significance, you know, but I just kind of noticed, like, oh, that is a little smoother for me. Because, again, I'm kind of tall. And got the one on my CD player as well, too. So, anyway, that's kind of the new setup there. You know, which is... Oh, sorry about that, getting kind of dark there. Which I like. So, anyway, as always, thanks, VC, for checking out my videos, kind of what's going on. Very happy to have these new pieces, as well as kind of my dream receiver, which is really cool. And as always, we will talk to you soon. Alright, take care, guys.